What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you are what you think about. And the reason I'm going to be talking about this is because I got a comment on a previous video of someone saying, it's a subscriber saying, hey, I was listening to Earl Nightingale, and he was talking about how, most young men do not think about building wealth. They don't even think about their finances. And he's like, I noticed that you talk a lot about that on your channel, and that's how I know that you're going to end up actually achieving what you're talking about, because you're always thinking about it. You're always talking about it. And first of all, I really appreciate that comment. That was a phenomenal comment, and it inspired this video. And I want to kind of add to that and kind of address that comment, honestly. But he's absolutely right. Earl Nightingale is absolutely right, and so is the commenter, saying that, hey, you will achieve what you're setting out to achieve because you are always thinking about it. Again, at the beginning of the video, I said, look, you are what you think about. I'm going to be discussing that. So why do I always talk about building wealth? Why do I always talk about personal finance? And why do I bring that into the discussion when I talk about getting into trucking? Well, because the point, in my opinion, of working is to get ahead. The point of working your tail off to get into a career and earn a great income is not only to pay for your day-to-day living expenses, just getting through life, your basic needs being met, but to also get ahead with that money, get ahead with that income. And because ultimately, one day, all of us are going to get old, we're going to get hurt, we're going to get sick, and be in a position to where we cannot work for money the same way we used to be. We used to be able to work for money, right? Like right now, I'm 29 years old. I know when I'm 59 years old, my energy level as far as working goes is probably not going to be the same. I already know that. So I'm preparing now for that time when I'm not going to have the same energy as I do now at 29, right? Never know. I'm going to take care of myself as best as I can. But look, I'm just being realistic, right? And so the point is like, look, you have to think about wealth. I really believe that thinking about wealth is thinking about, number one, your freedom from having to work a job, being a slave to a company or to the government. That's number one. Also, having the ability to spend more time with your loved ones, right? When you're financially free, you can take as much time off as you want. You can work when you want. You can work on whatever you want. That's what I'm working towards. Look, when I first started, before I even started in trucking, before I even went to CDL school, my goal was, and I was age 24 at the time, I just turned 24, and my goal was by 35 to be financially free. And I laid out a plan. I laid out how much I would need to save every single year, and invested in what I invest in, which is broadly diversified index funds. I picked a average rate of return that I could expect over the next 11 years. Again, I figured out how much I would need to save each year to accomplish my goal of financial freedom. And I am well on that path to doing that. Both my wife and I are well on that path of doing that. But first, I had to have what? I had to have that goal. I want financial freedom. I do not want to have to work at this job. I do not want to have to work for this company. I want to have an option of, hey, maybe I want to go start my own business, and I don't want to do it by having to take out a bunch of debt to do it. I want to do it in cash. I want to do it to where I truly own that business and the bank doesn't own that business. I want to have options. That's the reason why I want wealth. That's the reason why we all want wealth. Look, if I hit 35 and I accomplish the goal of financial freedom, hey, I can quit working. I'm not going to actually do that. That's really not what I'm aiming for. And I actually believe if you're young, why would you want to aim to not work for the rest of your life? Like totally retire. Now, I can see, maybe hitting financial freedom, take a year off. Take a year, go travel. But after that, you got to have something that something that inspires you throughout the rest of your life, something to do that's productive, right? So, and I know what I want to do when I do reach that goal. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to work on, and what I want to, I want to not have to, again, rely on somebody else to pay my bills. I want to be financially independent. And again, yes, I always think about that. I always talk about that. I talk about it on my channel because the people that watch me are getting into trucking. Most people are getting into trucking, or they're in trucking. That's most of my viewers. Some of them, they're not in trucking at all. That's true. But most of them are watching my channel because they are interested in the trucking stuff. But I add in the financial stuff because trucking isn't going to be worth it to you in the long run if you don't learn the financial game. It's not going to be worth it. It's going to actually be a huge waste of time. Most careers are a huge waste of time if you just go in there and learn how to do it and make the money, but you just blow all the money. What good did all that work do getting into that career? What good did all that work do working that career for years if you never got ahead financially? So it's very true, right? Most people don't think about building wealth, and that's because they don't have a goal. They don't have a goal. They don't even know what financial freedom is, and that's what I'm trying to get people interested in on this channel. I hope I'm doing a good job with some people. Hopefully I do. Hopefully I affect a few people out there. That's my goal with this channel. That's my goal, because I see it all the time. I see it with people, especially in trucking. I see it at truck stops, talking to drivers. They have no plan. I talk to people at terminals. They have no plan. I hear it all the time on YouTube. People talking about how the world is ending and trucking is dead. And it's like, man, I don't agree. I don't agree. The reason it's dead to you is because you really didn't have a plan to begin with. That's the problem. And you're not really thinking about how you can use what you're doing to get ahead and get out of the rat race. That's my goal. Get out of the rat race. Look, I love the trucking business. I love being a truck driver. I like the work I do, but I don't want to have to do this my whole life. I don't want to be in a position to where I'm relying on trucking for all of my income, for all of my ability to support my family. I don't want that. And so I'm getting into a position each and every single day. With each paycheck that I get, with each month that goes by, with each year that goes by, as long as I stick to the plan that I created to begin with, and I constantly too, see, by always thinking about wealth, like the subscriber said, by always thinking about that goal I'm trying to achieve at 35, I'm always thinking about ways to do what? If I increase my income, if I find ways to increase my income over the course of that time, see, because my original plan never even factored in really getting a huge income boost, right? And so I've actually gotten to the point where after 5 years into this, I'm closer to my goal because of getting raises and making more money. I didn't even factor that in when I began this journey, honestly. And so, when you are on that journey and when you're constantly thinking about what you're trying to achieve, you're going to get inspired by the results you're seeing, and you're going to want to actually try to get there faster. And that's what I do. I try to tweak it. I try to find ways to increase my income, find ways to cut back on spending, find ways to, just invest more money, right? That's really ultimately the goal I have, is to make as much money as possible, live on as little money as possible while still enjoying my life somewhat, but in investing as much money as possible in my preferred vehicle, which is pretty much the total world stock market, held at market cap weights. So I'm an index fund investor. That's what I buy. Now, if I were to invest outside of the stock market, it would probably be trucking, number one, the trucking business, because that's what I do. And eventually I will go that route. And that's going to be another way to boost my income and build wealth faster by starting my own business. I would also consider investing in real estate as well. And I always throw those in there because I am an index fund investor, pretty much 100% index funds right now. But there are other investment vehicles that people are interested in. And I think, hey, if you can learn about, whatever it is you want to do, learn about it, become an expert at it, and stick to that. And don't waver from it, and just do that consistently over the course of a 10, 15, 20 year span, and you will have success. And trucking to me is an amazing career and job to fund other investments. That's what I love about trucking, is even if you're just a company driver, you can fund other things. You know, trucking is a cash cow if you do it the right way. If you're out of debt and you build that emergency fund and then begin to invest, first of all, if you're out of debt, you're going to have a ton of ability or a ton of free cash flow to save and invest each and every single month. And that's how you build wealth. It's very simple. You build wealth by, one, getting out of debt, living on less than you make, building up an emergency fund so that you don't have to go back into debt to cover expenses after you get out of debt, and also to protect your investments once you start investing. A 6-month emergency fund will do, and once you get past getting out of debt, saving up 6 months worth of expenses, start to invest your money. And while you're getting out of debt and while you're building that emergency fund, you could be learning about investing in real estate, investing in the stock market, index funds, becoming an owner-operator, whatever it may be. But like the guy said in that comment, and like I alluded to at the beginning of the video, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be successful in a career or any endeavor, your health, spiritual life, family life, with friendships, no matter what it may be, you have to think about what you want all the time. If you don't think about it, if it's you just wake up and you're just floating through life with no plan, no direction, nothing motivating you, you will always be stuck in the rat race. You will always be stuck miserable. You will never achieve anything in life. That is just the God's honest truth. That applies to me. That applies to everybody. So I want to end this video with saying, look, whatever it is you whatever it is you want to achieve, everybody has different goals and ambitions. Whatever it is you want to achieve, figure that out and get clear about what you want, clear about your vision, and then develop the strategy and stick to your plan. Don't do what other people are doing. Don't listen to other people, really. Stick to your strategy, your plan. Educate yourself each and every single day on what you're trying to accomplish, and educate yourself on ways to even do it faster and do it better, and you will be successful. I really believe that, each and every one of you that are watching. So I really appreciate each and every one of my subscribers. Anybody that's new, I appreciate you for clicking on the video. Again, make sure you like the video, sub to the channel, check out more of my other videos. One of them will pop up at the end of this one. And God bless. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, and peace out.